Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, Lake Show Nation. Today, we're delving into a blockbuster rumor that has the potential to reshape the entire Los Angeles Lakers roster and championship trajectory. And we're going to keep you on the edge of your seat. Rumors are swirling that a key rotation player of ours could be on his way out, all in order to land a colossal centerpiece in the paint. Stick around, because I promise you this. By the end of today's deep dive, you'll be convinced that something this seismic is absolutely possible. It all starts with the franchise's glaring need. The Lakers have been searching for a true, impactful starting center for what feels like an eternity. We've talked about Nick Claxton, Daniel Gafford, and even more under-the-radar free agents, but none seem like the dramatic solution that LeBron James and Anthony Davis both deserve. Then, out of nowhere, Bleacher Report's Andy Bailey dropped a jaw-dropping trade proposal. What if LA swings for the fences, sending two of their promising wings plus future first-round pick swaps in 2030 and 2032 in order to acquire one of the NBA's most uniquely gifted big men, a 7-footer whose shot-blocking, floor spacing, and post-up game have enchanted basketball fans for years? Yes, the whispers about a blockbuster trade involving Kristaps Porzingis ignited a firestorm. But buried within that conversation is a far more immediate twist. The Lakers would have to send Rui Hachimura packing as part of that package. Now, hold on. I know what you're thinking. Rui, the smooth-moving, athletic forward we've all grown to love? The guy who's quietly carved out a role as our energy spark off the bench and shown flashes of 3-and-D brilliance. The same Rui Hachimura who, just 2 seasons ago, hit clutch jumpers and locked down corner threes in a Los Angeles uniform, often sparking ecstatic cheers at Crypto.com Arena? It almost sounds sacrilegious, but remember, no one is claiming it's done yet. We're here to speculate, to tease, to ask the hard questions. Could the Lakers really part ways with Rui to land a true, game-changing center? Let's set the stage. Last season, the Lakers stumbled defensively at times, conceding too many easy buckets in the paint. We all felt the sting when our half-court offense stalled without a clear number 5 to rally around. And though Wenyen Gabriel and Jackson Hayes have flashed potential, neither has proven reliable over a grueling 82-game stretch. Meanwhile, when Kristaps Porzingis is healthy, he presents a tantalizing blend of perimeter stretching, hitting over 40% from 3 last year, and intimidating rim protection, averaging nearly 2 blocks per game in his career. The catch? He hasn't played more than 66 games in a season since his rookie year, and this past postseason his numbers plummeted under the weight of a mysterious virus. Yet, imagine, just imagine, a Lakers lineup where LeBron James surveys the court, flips a dazzling no-look pass to Westbrook, who then swings it to Porzingis stationed in the corner. On the very next possession, Davis lobs to him for a thunderous jam that reverberates through the rafters. That vision alone has us salivating. But to make that dream real, Rui Hachimura, our versatile forward who averaged 12 points, 5 rebounds, and over a steal a game last season, would likely have to be included in the package, alongside fellow role player Maxi Kleber and those coveted future first-round pick swaps. Pause for a second and ask yourself, are we ready to give up a young, promising wing like Rui? He's still in his mid-20s, he's learning the Lakers' identity, and his two-way skill set has been a valuable asset in playoff runs. But insiders tell us that the front office believes Rui could fetch far more in a trade than many realize, especially to a team like Boston or Philadelphia in need of wing scoring, and that his departure could be the linchpin to unlocking a future where the Lakers boast a legitimate center of the future. In other words, Rui may be on the move, not because he's underperforming, but because he's become valuable trade capital in a market starved for size and shooting. Now, we know that the pillar of any blockbuster trade for Porzingis would be draft compensation. The Lakers own multiple unprotected first-rounders in 2030 and 2032, plus a handful of pick swaps courtesy of past trades. Packing in Rui and Maxi Kleber, which reduces luxury tax burden and opens up rotation minutes, could sweeten the deal just enough to lure Dallas or Boston into parting with their stretch big. Some insiders suggest that the Celtics, eyeing a deeper playoff run, would jump at the chance to pair Rui's athleticism with their own young nucleus. And that Celtics connection is key. If Boston dangles their second-unit center, the Lakers could pivot to a sign-and-trade scenario, mitigating salary cap complications and even saving precious tax dollars. Yet, there are serious questions. Rui's still on his rookie contract, so his ceiling is higher than what many veteran wings offer. Would the Lakers' bench become too shallow without him? Could Jalen Hood-Schifino or rookie Max Christie step into that role seamlessly, and what about chemistry? Losing Rui might disrupt the locker room ambiance. After all, he's one of the most popular teammates in that building. These are not trivial considerations. The front office must weigh the immediate allure of a game-changing center against the long-term need for bench depth and youth development. Let's zoom out for a moment and consider LeBron's perspective. At 39, he's chasing one last ring. He needs bigs who can protect the rim and shooters who can space the floor when he or Davis drives. Porzingis brings that, but so can Rui to a lesser extent. From LeBron's vantage point, is it worth sacrificing a young perimeter threat for a banged-up stretch big? Maybe, if Porzingis plays 60 games and elevates us out of first-round exits. But if he's limited by health, we risk handing over a future building block for a 1- or 2-year rental. Some fans argue the Lakers shouldn't touch the Porzingis idea with a 10-foot pole. Too risky, too expensive in salary and picks. Others believe that if the Lakers are ever to reclaim true championship form, they must dare to pull off the blockbuster no one else will. After all, the Clippers went all in for Kawhi and George. Why can't the Lakers bet on Porzingis, even at the cost of Rui and other assets? It's a high-stakes gamble, but the potential payoff, a roster with LeBron, Davis, Porzingis, and a supporting cast of sharpshooters, could tilt the balance of power in the Western Conference for years. As your host and a lifelong Lakers devotee, here's my take. I would hate to see Rui go, because he's become a symbol of our young, energetic bench mob. But the siren call of a true franchise center is intoxicating. If the Lakers can do this without mortgaging the entire future, if they can land Porzingis in a deal that leaves cap space for other moves, then maybe it's worth the move. Could this be the missing piece to a dynasty's final puzzle? Or is it an overreach that leaves us vulnerable if the big man falters? That's the million-dollar question. Stay tuned, because in just a moment we'll dive into the exact mechanics of how this trade could be constructed, explore alternative bigs in case Porzingis is a no-go, and examine the ripple effects on the roster's depth chart and salary cap. You'll hear from league insiders, cap experts, and perhaps even whispers from within the Lakers' inner sanctum. This speculation is far from over. We're only at the tip of the iceberg. If you're as invested in every wrinkle of this blockbuster saga as I am, smash that like button, subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and ring the bell, because now we're slicing into the nitty-gritty of how this potential Rui Hachimura center trade could actually come together, what Plan B looks like if it falls through, and what it all means for our championship window. Let's pick up where we left off. We know Bleacher Report's Andy Bailey floated sending Rui, Maxi Kleber, and Lakers' 2030 and 2032 first-round pick swaps to Boston in exchange for Kristaps Porzingis. That's a heavy haul, but let's break down the components and see if it stacks up under real-world constraints. First, salary matching. Porzingis is owed around $36 million next season. Rui and Kleber combine for roughly $20 million. To bridge the gap, the Lakers could include a mid-level contract, say Dennis Schroeder's remaining salary or Cam Reddish's expiring deal. That brings the outgoing package to about $35 or $38 million, a near match. Then you add those future pick swaps which have proven trade value, especially given the Lakers' expected competitiveness. Boston would love those options if the Lakers remain a playoff team year after year. Second, draft equity. Celtics fans would clamor for high-end picks in return, But a swap of 2030 and 2032 unprotected firsts gives them upside if the Lakers have a down season, while protecting Boston if LA continues to contend. The two swap rights are appealing because Boston could flip them later in their own trades, packaging them for immediate contributors. From LA's side, giving up two swaps is a steep price, but if it nets a legitimate game-changer like Porzingis, it might be worth it. Third, on court. Fit. Picture a starting five of Russell Westbrook, D'Angelo Russell playing off-ball, LeBron James as point forward, Anthony Davis at the 4, and Porzingis at the 5. That lineup offers spacing, with 4 reliable three-point shooters, and the rim protection we desperately lack. Davis can roam free as the defensive anchor, while Porzingis patrols the paint and stretches defenses outside the arc. This dual big alignment has the potential to suffocate pick-and-rolls and ignite transition bursts. Now, let's consider Plan B. What if the Lakers and Celtics can't agree on Porzingis? The beauty of exploring this scenario is that it unearths other possibilities. For instance, the Dallas Mavericks might be willing to trade Daniel Gafford. Although he's younger and less proven than Porzingis, Gafford brings elite pick-and-roll defense and energy finishes above the rim. His cap hit is moderate, so pairing Rui and a future second-round pick could be enticing to Dallas, who value cost-controlled bigs. It's a lower-risk, lower-reward pivot, but still upgrades our center spot significantly over the current rotation. Alternatively, Nick Claxton of the Nets continues to loom as a top option. Brooklyn covets future picks now that Kyrie Irving drama persists, so including Rui, a bench guard, and a late first-rounder could send Claxton to LA. His ceiling as a switch-capable defender and lob threat aligns perfectly with the Lakers' needs. Though not as proven offensively as Porzingis, he's younger, healthier, and under team control for years, making him an organizational asset. What about the draft? If the Lakers hold on to Rui, they could draft a high-upside prospect like Kello Ware or Jaime Jaquez Jr., both of whom project as stretch fours in the modern NBA. That route carries rookie uncertainty but preserves roster continuity and cap. Flexibility. It's the patient path, betting on development rather than a splash of star power, and would spare Rui from moving to a new market. As a die-hard Lakers fan, I find myself torn. On one hand, I adore Rui's growth, his athletic cuts, his defensive rotations, his corner triples. He embodies the coachable, high-motor culture that LeBron praises. Watching him chase loose balls, fight through screens, and celebrate every hustle play feels like watching the next great Laker in the making. Yet, I can't deny the strategic imperative. If we truly believe Anthony Davis and LeBron are locked in for another 2-year title push, we need a stable center who can handle 30 minutes per night, anchor the defense, and never miss a playoff game. That may require boldness at the trade table. Let's talk about the human element. Sending Rui to another team, maybe Boston, maybe Dallas, means uprooting a young man who's embraced LA, learned our system, and endeared himself to fans and teammates. There's a risk of fracturing locker room chemistry or dampening morale. The front office must weigh that emotional cost against the tangible on-court upgrade. Could internal voices, perhaps LeBron, perhaps Davis, speak up in Rui's favor behind closed doors? A leader like LeBron advocating for continuity could sway the final decision. Meanwhile, rival general managers will be watching this drama play out. If the Lakers appear too eager to move prospects and picks for a single star, other teams may demand steeper prices in trade talks. Conversely, if LA holds its ground and refuses to deplete its future, they might miss out on the franchise-altering talent they covet. It's a delicate dance. Now, imagine we make the Porzingis deal. Rui in green and white, Porzingis in purple and gold. On opening night, the spotlight hits KP as he launches a catch-and-shoot triple with Shaquille O'Neal and Gary Payton watching courtside. The crowd roars, and we sense a new era. But what if he's limited by health and plays only 50 of 82 games? We risk blowing our picks on a part-time contributor, and the Lakers could find themselves back at square one in 2 seasons. That's why this trade requires absolute confidence in medical evaluations and a clear plan to manage minutes. Ultimately, Lake Show Nation, the question is this: are we willing to sacrifice the familiar spark of Rui Hachimura for the tantalizing promise of a true franchise center? In a championship window defined by high stakes and narrow margins, sometimes you have to roll the dice. But the stakes have never been higher for the Lakers. It's decision time. Do we stay the course with youth and continuity, or do we gamble on a blockbuster? If you enjoyed this deep dive, give us a thumbs up, drop your hottest takes in the comments, tell us if you'd send Rui packing, or if you'd rather keep him in LA, and don't forget to subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report for every trade whisper, every free agency twist, and every heartbeat of this franchise's relentless pursuit of greatness. Until next time, stay Lakers,